Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for Sagittarius, wherever Sagittarius shows up in your chart. And of course, I would absolutely love it if you subscribed to my channel. If you haven't done so already, thank you either way for being here. I don't really have a plan on the spread that we're going to use. I'm shuffling until a couple cards come out. Not a ton, just a few. So for Sagittarius, what does Sagittarius need to know? I don't take the flippers. They've got to come out. They've got to commit is what I was going to say. They have to commit to coming out. There we go. See, like that. It's like fine. Ooh, the Fool, 9 of Cups, love that. Oh, the Tower, 7 of Pentacles. I'm not gonna lie, I almost kind of feel like, or was it this way? Shoot, now I can't remember. Hold on. Okay, I went back and watched the tape. It's this way. Honestly, the other way felt like in my body totally wrong. So that's why I move them around. Because technically, right, like they came out this way. So technically, the 7 of Pentacles was the first card. Anyway. Okay. Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. King of Cups, 2 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles. Actually, let's just maybe... And then I can move this out of the way. Okay, sorry, I keep moving these things around, but also I'm like, for whatever reason, it feels very important for things to be in a certain place. Just like I said, when the cards came out, the way that I put them, or spread them out at first, oh my gosh, it was just like my body revolted. And two, that's also why I was like, let me just make sure that I have the order right. So like stop the video, go back, check the tape, come back, because for whatever reason it is important. So like I said, 7 of Pentacles, the Tower, 9 of Cups, the Fool, Ace of Wands, King of Cups, 2 of Cups. So the 7 of Pentacles is like, it's focusing your time, your energy, your resources onto a thing in order to see it actualize. I mean, we can see this figure here is baking all of these loaves of bread, presumably to either sell them or have them available for whoever needs them, right? So there's this energy of like either preparation, getting prepared. When you think bun in the oven too, because there is an actual bun in the oven. Oh, sorry, my mom was calling, so I kind of got like sidetracked. But like when you think bun in the oven, right? Like something is incubating, even too. Like baking bread, right? Like there's a whole process that goes into even getting that bun in the oven. Ingredients, skill, time, patience, right? Having the oven itself. So it's interesting that this card like is just kind of like taking me down like this road of preparation, of almost too like taking things one step at a time. Like I was saying at the beginning, it is like focusing your attention, your time, your resources onto or into a thing in order to see it actualize. Because who knows what these loaves are for? actually. But they are making sure that they have enough. Because, I mean, clearly, like, they have to be preparing for something. Or, there is a purpose for this whole process, right? So, I mean, however that translates into your situation, right? Like, I mean, have you been in an energy of incubating something? I mean, it doesn't have to be that you are pregnant, that you're going to be pregnant, that, it doesn't have to anything to do necessarily with that, but just in the sense of like birthing something, or again, preparing for something too, because it's kind of like one of those things of like whatever comes along, you're going to be ready for it. And maybe too, like maybe that is the energy, like maybe you don't know what is coming down the pipe, whatever. But it's like you feel that there is something and you want to be like as prepared as you can be. Like, obviously don't go out and buy like a million things of toilet paper and, like buy out all the eggs at the grocery store or something like that. Like, it's not like that. It's not like doomsday prepping or like something, it's just, kind of like one of those things of like, it's anxiety inducing to like be caught off guard or surprised or something. So you're like, I'm just going to kind of cover all my bases, which is so interesting. We have the Tower card next to it. So clearly there's something that either has already happened, will happen, that is destabilizing is the word that's like coming to mind. With it being right next to the Seven of Pentacles, it could be too that like truly whatever it is that you have been putting your energy into, there could have been an abrupt stop to it, like some sudden something that kind of just, again, either took you off guard or again, destabilized the whole operation, whatever that is. But here's what is fucking cool. And this is why I love tarot. And also too, I think like a message about following your feelings. We have this Ace of Wands here, fire, right? Which is very much your energy. Pentacles is earth. The Tower is Mars, which is, fire. It's Aries, also Scorpio. But, Mars just went direct in Cancer not that long ago. Obviously, wherever Cancer is for you. And I feel like that was a hard transit for like a lot of effing people. Even people who have no clue about like astrology or whatever, right? Like I had conversations with people that they're like, what the actual fuck has been going on for the last couple months? And I'm like, oh, it's definitely Mars retrograde in Cancer. And they're like, what? And then I, try to explain as best as I can. I'm like, then they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it could be that. But like I said, it did go direct. It'll be in Cancer until like mid-April or something like that. Before it like, moves into Leo and just kind of like continues its journey. But the Ace of Wands is something brand new, right? It's kind of like whatever this situation that happens with the Seven of Pentacles and the Tower card, it's like it sparks something else. Like from that, it creates a new opportunity, a new desire. It could be just that fire under your ass, like feeling that again. But what I really want to point out on this specific Ace of Wands is the Phoenix rising out of the ashes. How fucking perfect is that? I mean, truly, like whatever the situation is, you could feel cooked. Like you could feel like you have been like burnt to a crisp, left in the oven a little too long, overdone, you know? Which is, and that could even just be why, like, I feel like the Tower card, the Tower is only going to affect the things that are no longer serving you. And it makes way for those things to come in that are for you, right? And if this situation had to happen in order for, you to rise from the ashes, in order for, the spark to be ignited, reignited, whatever, right? Then, I mean, hey, it happened, We have the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, your desires being met, feeling fulfilled, feeling purposeful. It's individual completion. We also have all of the elements out here. I just realized we have earth, fire, water, air, which usually to me, like, anytime that happens, it's like, there's a balance of energy. Like it's not, this big focus on one element or two even elements, because I feel like it's usually readings are pretty heavy on two different elements, but practical action, your money, your physical body, tangible things, monetary things, worth, value, right? Like your motivation, creativity, passion, right? Like what you pour your energy into. Cups with the emotional aspect of it. Intuition, air with the mind. So anyway, I know we were talking about the Nine of Cups, but that is attached to the King of Cups here. And what is also interesting is that, well, first of all, the King is the highest expression of the suit, right? So there is emotional clarity, emotional maturity, being able to weather these choppy waters more easily because you've been here. You've done that. This isn't your first rodeo. You have your sea legs, right? But also, too, I think it's interesting that it's attached to the Tower card, because I feel like the Tower card is the one that's like the storm out here that's creating these crazy waves. Anytime I see the court cards in this specific deck, I always think of like the North Sea. I don't know if if you've seen those videos of the ships that are on the North Sea when there's like a storm going on. It's, oh my God, it's insane. And they're just chugging along, I mean, granted, none of them, not a single person is like standing on the edge of their boat, like going through that. But it is, though, like a sign of confidence, right? I mean, even being at the front of the ship where the most energy is going to be focused. Like, the front of the ship is the first thing that hits these waves. So it really is like this feeling of like, confronting your feelings. Whatever this Tower moment is, could be forcing you to confront what does make you happy? Where does your happiness come from? Where do you feel fulfilled? That's kind of interesting, like the turn that took. And then we have the Fool with the Two of Cups. The Fool is a leap of faith. This is Uranus or Aquarius. Uranus is in Taurus right now, which is Earth. Pluto is in Aquarius right now. Do they square each other? They do. Well, I mean, they're not, because I think like Uranus is at like the later degrees in Taurus, and Pluto is at the kind of beginning degrees of Aquarius. But that is kind of interesting, though, how they would square each other, which is, tension. But this is also like trusting the process, surrender. Because truly, right, to take that leap of faith, you do have to trust that the net is going to catch you, the path is going to open up in front of you, that it is the right decision to, right? surrendering to the unknown and possible uncertainty with this whole thing. There's also like a commitment level to it. They're dropping this rose here. I wonder if it even mentions that. And cast aside the rose that she has carried from the beginning of her journey, a symbol of the world that she's left behind. You know what? Whatever the Seven of Pentacles is, whether it's work, whether it's, how you have expressed yourself, how you have, even how you have determined worth and value and success, how you have gone about doing things, how you've even prepared for things. Truly, like, whatever this Seven of Pentacles is, it is being brought down. Because the thing is too, right? Like, just as human beings, we have this tendency to continue to do things that have worked for us in the past, right? Which is fine. However, though, right? Like, doing so at a certain point when it really is like, I don't want to say like it's no longer working, but at one point in your life, this Seven of Pentacles worked, right? It brought you stability. It was practical. It was whatever it was at the time, right? And it created a sense of like safety and security within you. And it was kind of like one of those things of like, it was only supposed to work for that one thing. But what has happened though is that you kind of kept using that same formula over and over and over and over again. And sure, it has worked, but maybe to your detriment. Like, you just kind of wound up back in these same situations, which is probably not what you want anymore. But it's like, well, it worked in the past, so it's got to work again. But also, like, I want a different result from it. What is that? Like, the thing about insanity is like trying the same or doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result. And even, with this Ace of Wands, like in the book, it says that like it could take hundreds of years before Phoenix. The phoenix is a bird that has long been associated with the cycle of the sun. Legend recounts that it can live for hundreds of years before bursting into flames and dying in a brilliant blaze of color and light. Then, just as suddenly as it falls, a fledgling creature arises from the ashes, reborn and renewed. I don't think it's necessarily like hundreds of years, but it could be hundreds of cycles. This could be that blaze. And I did keep focusing on, I kept looking at this sun in the Fool card too. I think it's interesting that I even saw this rose just because of the illustration. I mean, you may not be able to see it from, maybe, but it really is like all of a sudden that rose was like, holy shit, like there's something from your past that needs to be released here. An old way of doing things, an old, like, even, the practical ways that you navigate the world are changing. And it could be, again, because it's like there's this confrontation happening where you're like, what would make me happy? Where and how do I feel emotionally fulfilled? What fills my cup? The Two of Cups is about shared values. It could be making different connections, not to mention like, on this King of Cups, right, there's this crazy storm going on. And then below the surface in the water, we have these two beings like not affected at all by what is happening at the surface. This could be like the masculine and feminine within you, because this doesn't feel like a relationship. It can be, of course. But it doesn't feel like a romantic relationship to me in this spread. I'm really just getting this vibe about the masculine and feminine within you learning to like collaborate, maybe even like being able to recognize those two parts of you. And of course, I mean, through this whole process, you could make different connections. You could meet people who allow you to take this leap of faith. Maybe whatever this connection is, it would be a leap of faith for you. It would be something completely new. It would be a totally different path than you have been on in the past. It definitely could be that. But like I said, it feels more of the masculine and feminine like within you. Almost too like recognizing each other because they're like staring into each other's eyes. And it's almost kind of like if you've kept those two things separate, right? Like there was the feminine aspect and you knew that you were in the feminine energy and you just kind of like pushed off or just didn't really give any attention to the masculine side at that time, or vice versa. Like you knew you were in your masculine era, like you knew the actions that you were taking and how you were approaching things, and even like the fire element when that came out, and then at the time when you were more in that masculine energy, you were giving less attention. You weren't even looking at the feminine within yourself. And now it's like they both like they see each other for like the first time, either in a long time or the first time fucking ever. And it's like, oh, wait, we could actually work together? You mean we could like collaborate? You mean we can both be present at the same time? That is so fucking cool, dude. This was amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to go on this journey with you and to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.